Oops. Okay. Environmental justice. So this has to do with the fair treatment with respect to the development and implementation of environmental rules and regulations, regardless of who you are in society. So oftentimes we see that poor people are more exposed or exposed to a greater degree to environmental hazards. So a problem with poorer individuals being disproportionately exposed to environmental hazards. How does this work? A good example was in Flint, Michigan. The water was actually leaching lead into the drinking water, and so those people in Flint, Michigan were a poorer population, and they also were more ethnically diverse than in Detroit, and so they were affected much more greatly because of this problem with the water quality. And then if you think about that, these are these people that have less resources, that are less affluent, and they are the ones that, for example, would have to filter their water or would have to go out and buy water, drinking water. So environmental justice is making sure that we have fair treatment of all groups. Maybe it's ethnic groups, maybe it is related to income in the development and implementation of environmental regulation. So fair treatment of all groups in the development and implementation of laws and regulations. So these would be environmental laws and regulations. So one thing that oftentimes happens is that poor people tend to live closer to industries that are high polluting. And so they are oftentimes more exposed to the chemicals in the environment. Another thing has to do with what they refer to as brown fields. And so these are areas of like urban land that has been contaminated. And so it could be, for example, you had a gas station and you were storing gasoline underground in those big tanks. And over time, the gas leaked into the soil. And so it polluted that. And then the gas station went under. And so you have this brown field that is in the urban environment, and it is contaminated. The soil is contaminated. And so we want to talk about how we would go about cleaning up those areas and making them safe again for use by humans. And so that would also be related to this idea of environmental justice.